next step in the process is really to just start cleaning up your drawing. We've got a bunch of lines that we've drawn that some of them are useful, some of them aren't. And so I can use the erase tool and I can come through and clean up some of these excess lines. One that I'm going to suggest that you keep for right now is we're going to actually use this one later. So keep these center lines. But beyond that, you can go ahead and you can erase out the other ones. The other place that you can clean this drawing up is that you can use the trim tool, and again select all, and you can trim out the corners, because obviously in the corner of a parking lot there's not any way to get vehicles in and out of it without hitting one another, and so they would block one another in. And so real quick I can just go ahead and trim all those out, clean up the rest of the drawing here real fast, getting rid of all of these extra lines. Again, I think I'm going to go ahead and get rid of all of those over here. And so anyway, so that kind of leaves me with this drawing right here. Basically that's, you know, kind of the end of step C moving in, or that's moving into step D. And so the next thing I'm going to do is that I actually am going to want to go ahead and start drawing my parking lot lines. And so there's a lot of different ways to do this, but to get started I actually want to go over here and I want to work in this parking lot lines layer. So I'm going to double click on that to put the green check mark there, so that again any line that I draw is now going to be yellow. And if I turn off the parking lot lines, again it says don't turn off your current layer, but you know, you can do it. They would disappear that way. And now I'm going to erase that line we don't need. Alright, but to go ahead and get started, I can basically pick anywhere on this drawing. We're going to have 9 foot wide. Basically what I've specified is that we're going to have 9 foot wide parking lot stalls. So you can have 9 feet of width here to here. And so in order to actually do this, what I need you to do first is go ahead and trace over this parking lot edge over here. And again, just from the back up here to the front edge of that. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to actually go in and use the move. And so the first thing it says is select your objects. Oops. So I'll go ahead and select on that. Ask for base point, and so we're going to move from this base point. The way that AutoCAD does moving is that it moves in an XY. And what I mean by XY is that you need to give it an X direction. So moving side to side horizontally is an X direction. And you need to give a Y direction, which is up and down. We want to move this 9 feet in the X direction. And so in order to do that, I first have to start with the at symbol. So at 9 feet, comma 0 feet. And you see that it moved it over a perfect 9. I can test that using the distance tool and, oops, DIST. I don't know why. There we go. See, 9 feet. That's what it's telling me. All right, that's exactly what I was looking for. The next thing we can do in this process is that once we've used the move tool, we can actually just go ahead and offset that line. And so we want the next parking lot line to be 9 feet in this direction. And so if I just type in offset, I tell I want 9 feet as my offset, and I go ahead and start. I can go ahead and click 9 feet, 9 feet. And if you're having problems with the snap, right, it's trying to snap in different directions, we can always go ahead and hit the F3 button at the top, and it will turn your snaps off. You can always turn them back on with the F3 button, but right now it might be beneficial to not have them on while we're doing this. And so I can go ahead and do this. Now I told you before we're going to have something going on here with the center line, and so I actually want to go ahead and stop the process here at this point. And I'm going to do the same thing starting from the other end of the parking lot. And so again, the process is you draw your line. Oh yeah, F3 to turn my snaps back on. All right, and then if I move it, now this time I'm actually, oops, I need to specify my base point. Come on. There we go. This time I need to do at, but since I'm going to the left, I need to tell it I want to go at -9 feet, comma 0 feet. And that tells it to go to the left. Same thing if I were going down. Instead, if I wanted to move this line down, I would say move. Click on that, and I'd say, since I want to go 0 feet in this direction, so at 0 feet, comma -9. Actually, let's go, let's go a little bit bigger, -20 feet. You see now it moves it straight down. I can undo that because I actually want it there, and then I can offset from here. I'm going to let you go ahead and work your way around the parking lot and see what you can come up with in terms of, doing the layout. Again, refer back to that, what the drawing that we kind of began this whole step 2 with. What is it you're trying to actually lay out? Where's the parking going to go versus where the pedestrians are going to go versus where the vehicles travel? And go ahead and lay out your parking lot from there.